What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA camp today. Let's get started. Tyron Woodley gives an explanation for his latest GFL signing. According to Tyron, it essentially boils down to the revenue split. According to GFL, the fighters will receive a 50-50 split. According to the GFL website's athlete benefit section, there will be a 50-50 revenue share. Athletes earn a fair share of the revenue generated from events, ensuring their success is directly linked to the league's success.
What made me say yes to it was really the revenue split, because when you start looking at Gates and you start looking at what other organizations are bringing in, and I always knew the numbers for the fighters. I always knew who made the most. I always knew. That was kind of like my intangible going into negotiations. So when I saw that, I'm like, you know what you're really saying you're about to do, right? He's like, yeah. I said, so if we build up this brand and it takes off and people come and watch and they view and the revenue is very handsome, that means we're going to get paid. And he was like, you should. I looked at that and I got a pretty decent guarantee regardless, but my goal is to try to do everything within my power, use all forms of art, use all the kitchen sink to make it even more, so that what I'm making is even more than what I'm guaranteed to make.
Michael Venom Page intends to make Shara Bullet regret his remarks. Following his victory over Arman Petrosyan via spinning backfist at UFC 308, Shara criticized Israel Adesanya, saying he was the strongest striker in the division and that he would smash Izzy. Izzy and MVP have a great friendship.
I'm the best striker in this division. I'm smash Israel Adesanya.
Keep my name out your What the f did I do? Like, why you say me for?
I'm like, what do you say me for? Very simply, he called out a friend of mine, Izzy, claiming to be the best striker. And I was like, I'll happily prove you wrong before you even get a chance to fight my boy. So that's it. Well, I always say this, I'm a fan as much as I am a fighter in it. And you know, every fan can look at this fight and they'll feel exactly the same way that I'm feeling. And it is pure excitement. It's like, well, when these two exceptional strikers come together, what's gonna happen? And it is just that. Like, for me, I'm seeing it from a slightly different angle of like, not just what's gonna happen, how am I gonna overcome this? And just that challenge, you know, it boils a certain fire of excitement inside me to wanna, you know, obviously just train hard to get to this point, and then just make it happen. You're gonna see two big egos that collide. It's like two rams, you know, just non-stop kind of going back and forth until somebody's ego subsides, and then you might see them go to different, you know, plan B, plan C, and try and work a different way. But we're both exceptionally confident and in our styles, and that is what we're going to be putting forward first. The thing is, for me, I feel like I've been working on other aspects of my game. I'm also confident that I can beat him in other areas. So for me, I feel like there's a bit of an ego, a bit too much of an ego for him to want to go elsewhere. So even when he's stuck, if we're striking and I'm beating him and he's stuck, he'll probably continue staying in that space, which is fine for me. Whereas for me, I feel I can take him down, I can work him on the ground, I can stand him back up, I can mix and match the game, whereas he'll just want to be in one area.
To put it mildly, Dana White is not pleased with Bryce Mitchell. During World War II, Bryce spoke a few things about the German leader. Since it's likely that YouTube may flag this video, if I reveal his name, I can't. In any case, Bryce expressed his belief that this individual was a kind man. Dana White is incensed by these remarks. Dana's response during a Power Slap press conference was as follows.
So before we get started here, let me get some dumb out of the way first here. I'm out here have fun doing Power Slap tonight, and I'm sure you guys heard what Bryce Mitchell said. If you haven't, he said some I've heard a lot of dumb, ignorant shit in my day, but this one's probably the worst. When you talk about he's responsible for the death of 6 million Jews, and he tried to completely eliminate a race of people. World War II was the deadliest war in history. 15 million military deaths, 45 million civilians, and 25 million soldiers were killed in World War II. Second of all, he was one of the most disgusting and evil human beings to ever walk the face of the earth. And anyone that even tries to take an opposing position is a moron. That's the problem with the internet and social media. You provide a platform for a lot of dumb, ignorant people. We've obviously reached out to Bryce, and when we read what he said and let him know how we feel about it, we're beyond disgusted. For all of you that hate Bryce Mitchell, you get to see him hopefully get his ass whooped on global television. I mean, what do you want me to say about it? You know where I am with free speech. We're disgusted by it. I think he's probably one of the dumbest, literally one of the dumbest human beings. He's stupid. He's dumb. You can't fix dumb people. You know what I mean? When you have somebody that's really, really stupid, and that's who we're talking about here, what do you do? How do you talk sense to a dummy? You don't.
Conor hurled numerous insults in his insane tirade on Khabib Nurmagomedov. Following Usman Nurmagomedov's victory over Paul Hughes over the weekend, Conor and Khabib have been alternating this week. Conor was good friends with Paul Hughes, and Khabib was cornering Usman. Paul informed Khabib that he's not like Conor, and that he's his own guy in a chat that was captured on camera.
I'm not like this other guy, and I'm my own man. I'm not like this other guy. The media try to make us like not respect. You know I always have respect.
This clip infuriated Conor, who retaliated against Paul Hughes. Since Paul is from Northern Ireland, Conor advised him to discontinue flying the Irish flag. Khabib clearly took Paul's side. He referred to Conor as a drug addict and repeated the comment on his Instagram story. Unbelievably, Conor didn't remove the post that he made on X today. It has been up for a few hours. He wrote, 15 minutes I done Aldo, 15 seconds show your wife, show your kids, cousin hiding, show us you and your cousin's kids together because we have kids here in Ireland that want to smoke them in competition. Are they competing or what? Usayang Ireland versus Dagestan. Where's your offspring? We can't wait to see them. The best of Dagestan offspring Dagestan. What do we think? Is this true? Who's next? Cuz Fatso with the coach whistle won't fight. Who designated this fat as master father? Certainly not his own father Abdul Mano. And they all know it in Dagestan. Dagestan think you are lips for retiring. Real Dagestan is forever. You're laughed at behind your back in Dagestan. Lazy you are, they say. Fight me and make $100 million and give it to the entire village of Dagestan, but you won't. Why? Fat. Lazy. Scared. Lazy fats up. According to Tom Aspinall, jet lag significantly impairs his fighting performance. Tom, who resides in England, says he intends to go to America 2 weeks early in order to avoid jet lag because he thinks that's where his next bout will take place. As of right now, Tom is the interim heavyweight champion for the UFC and is not scheduled to compete. To unify the heavyweight championships, Dana White has often expressed his belief that Tom would face John Jones this year. UFC Fight News. Numerous supporters recommended that Kevin Holland drop back to welterweight following his defeat by Reinier de Ridder via first-round submission. On the day of the battle, Reinier de Ridder weighed 22 pounds more than Kevin. Kevin appears to be formally relocating back down. On March 22nd, Kevin will compete against Gunnar Nelson at welterweight in UFC Fight Night. Since March 2023, Gunnar Nelson has not been in action. For this one, who do you guys have? Will Kevin do better at welterweight in your opinion? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's move on to more battle news. In UFC 314's co-main event, Alexandre Pantoja will defend his flyweight title against Kai Kara France. The main event for UFC 314 is not yet confirmed. Bo Nickal, however, stated this week that he is positive it is the rematch between Alexander Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria. Dana White discusses Islam Makhachev's suggestion to advance to middleweight. Though she doesn't appear to like the notion of Islam going up 2 divisions, Dana believes it is conceivable for Islam to move to welterweight.
Islam Makhachev has stated that if you give him an opportunity, he'll go up to middleweight and fight the champ Dricus Du Plessis. Would you give him that chance to move up and fight that champ?
He would move up to middleweight.
Fight the middleweight champ.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Listen, if he wants to move up to 170, we can talk. Moving up to 185 is a whole nother level.
Remembering his battle with Jeremy Stephens, Renato Moicano reflects, this past weekend, Jeremy fractured Eddie Alvarez's jaw by TKOing him in BKFC. In 2017, Renato faced Jeremy in the UFC, and he prevailed by split decision. Because he didn't want to hit Jeremy, Renato claims he ran the majority of the bout. Renato also claims that Jeremy wanted to fight him every time he saw him during fight week.
It's fun to see, like Jeremy Stephens, I have been watching him for a long time, and it's nice to see people like resurging, right?
You almost fought him, right? Because
no, I fought him.
Top 5, you
I fought him, yeah, but a long time ago, 2017. I was just running. I was jabbing and running, my brother. I said, I don't want to...
You fought him, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't want to strike against this guy, because I remember one of the like, he has like viral knockouts.
Yeah.
Couple of crazy knockouts.
Heavy hand, crazy heavy hand.
Crazy guy, brother. He was one of the few guys that I was fighting, and I was really afraid, you know, because...
Yeah. But you're too young too, right?
I was young, yeah. I was 20 something.
Won a decision, right?
I won a decision, and I remember every time that I met him in the hotel, he was acting crazy, like he wanna fight all the time. And I say, relax, bro. All the time he was looking and say, relax, bro. We're going to fight on Saturday. But he was trying to fight me every moment of like the whole fight week. And I was, man, this mother crazy. And he is, brother.
Dricus Du Plessis responded to Alex Pereira's repeated cornering of Sean Strickland. Dricus finds it amusing. He stated, he was in the corner in the first fight too. I mean, they don't even speak the same language. It doesn't really make much of a difference whether he's in the corner or not. Sean can barely understand his own coach, who's also American. How is he going to understand Alex Pereira? Shara Bullet will walk to the UFC Octagon for the 5th time at UFC Saudi Arabia. He claims that his comfort level as a UFC fighter has significantly increased. Michael Venom Page is the opponent of Shara. This will mark MVP's 3rd UFC bout. Shara claims he intends to unnerve MVP and compel him to alter his approach.